Don't turn it.
Why?
Take your fingers off the front of that. Here, I'll show you. Say.
Hello, this is Benjamin Anderson.
What's this puppy? Animals. So, cheers. We're gonna drink some animals.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Welcome, guys. I might be a little bit all over the place with this video because it sort of came unexpectedly. My mom sent me the other day like my first video on YouTube, you know, exactly like 10 years ago. I didn't realize it at that time, but then like I started thinking, I was like, oh, when did I start making YouTube videos? 2014. Well, it's 2024 now, guys. So 10 years of like making videos, which is crazy. Obviously, it's not been like a straight, you know, weekly uploads. It's still quite a new thing, but the fact that I've made videos this long is crazy. So I don't know, I just want to have a bit of a story time and go over some of my old videos and stuff and talk to you about this because I don't know, I thought it was cool. Well, I guess we'll start with pre-YouTube first, like when I first started filming. And in the first clip of this video, you saw me with like the camera. It's like super overexposed with my mom. And I actually still have that camera. It's right here. Some of you guys might have seen my couple videos that I had on this channel about this camera. Actually, my first video that really like sort of took off, if you want to say, or sort of inspired me to start making these old camera videos was my first video about this. I didn't even know that there was some sort of trend about these old cameras, so it's cool that, you know, this is where it's started, you know, back then and kind of now. And this is great for getting all sorts of fun skateboarding clips and whatnot. But yeah, I had that. It was a sort of family camera, and I would film different things with that. But I think the biggest thing was when we had like the little flip phones. My mom had given me her old sort of BlackBerry style, like flip up keypad phone, and you could record 30 seconds on it, which my friends and I thought was super cool. So we would hang out with my friends and we would make these like short films with like these 30-second scenes, and when you would like play them back, then they would, you know, go from next to next, so then we could like go back and see it. But it was funny because, you know, if someone messed up their line or whatever, then you had to just sort of improvise, and it was cool because then at the end of the day we'd look through like the videos that we made and we're like, oh, this is a storyline. It was like something like bear versus snake, like this sort of like spies or something like that, like spy versus spies. I don't know, we were into that stuff as a kid. But you know, I didn't start uploading videos onto YouTube until I was like 11. I don't even really know why I started. Maybe my friend had one or something. I definitely watched a lot of YouTube growing up, like all of the Minecraft Let's Players. That was my thing, was just like Minecraft videos. But in the beginning, I wasn't able to do anything like that. I just had like this, I had like this laptop tablet thing, like, it had this terrible webcam on it that I would film these videos. And actually my first video on my channel is this, so let's take a look at that.
We're gonna have two special guests today. One's gonna be my new puppy. Say hi! That's Lily. She's a Boston Terrier. Lily, say hi. Princess. Anyways, for right now, I guess I'm just going to be fiddling around with coins. So I guess we're going to end off the video, and let's see if I get to name it.
So yeah, me and my dog, that's my first video. If you go and look at it, don't try to find it, I might unlist it after this. I'm like saying this is my second video, and I think there was a first video that I made. It was just me in my bed, like with my like laptop, and I'm talking into the webcam. I'm like, welcome to my channel, guys, subscribe to my channel. And then my mom like came in while I was recording it, and I like ended it because I didn't want them to know I had like a YouTube channel or something. And I deleted that, so it's not there anymore. But sort of my first video is me and my puppy, who has now lost an eye. Rip. But we still love you, Lily, even though you sometimes poop on the floor. And then from there I started making these Let's Plays the only way I knew how, and maybe some of you other Gen Z kids can relate to this. I would take my laptop webcam and I'd point it at my screen, and then I would just play PlayStation.
This time I was recording a little while ago and it didn't work. Bam. Ooh, lava parkour. Boop, boop. Okay. Ugh. Oh, frick, 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 frick.
And in those videos you hear more of the laptop than the actual game or anything that I'm playing. And I would make like challenge maps because I was so frustrated. I had like the console edition of Minecraft, and I wanted to install all the mods and like play through maps, but I couldn't do that. The computer I had was too like underpowered to play those things. So I would make myself my own like adventure maps, and I'd play through those, which was super cool. And then I made a lot of videos with my friends, playing basketball and whatnot. But then later on I did figure out how to start like capturing stuff from my games and on the PC. I got a PC later on that was like this desktop, but it had a laptop motherboard in it, and it had like 2 gigs of RAM, and it was like the slowest thing ever, but it just ran like Windows 10 edition Minecraft. I remember it just came out, and then Windows 10 had some sort of like game bar that you could record videos on, and that was like a godsend for me. But I didn't know how to edit, so it would just be like, you know, no cuts, just hit the game bar, record and play. Like editing was this crazy thing to me. I don't know why I never looked it up as like a kid. I, you know, obviously liked making these videos, but I never thought to like how to edit, or I just thought it was some like magic thing. I didn't know how they got it like done. So I just had all these like sort of Let's Plays where it's just like I'm playing straight through, no cuts, anything.
He was like, yeah, come on, me boy. You won't pick me. I'm like, yeah, well. There we go. Alright. We're good.
And then I started to take YouTube a bit more seriously. And my parents found my videos, and I remember being frustrating because I'm like an early teenager, and I'm watching like all that like horrendous stuff that was on YouTube at that point, like Leafy is Here and all those like super like cancerous, or you know, whatever they would call it, and they were just like making fun of little kids. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to like swear and be edgy on my YouTube, but my parents would watch it, and I would hear my dad like in the living room watching my videos or something, and it was so embarrassing. So, you know, just as I started to figure out how to edit videos and sort of get along, I had quit because I was so like frustrated and like embarrassed or whatever. I didn't want my parents to hear me cursing on YouTube or whatever. So then I took like this weird break between 2017 and 2019. So like 2018 I didn't really make any videos. I had made a separate channel, and on there I was just learning guitar, so I made videos about like music and guitar, even though I knew nothing about how to play guitar at that point. Have you been trying to pick up guitar and just really struggling with muting strings or whatnot? Well, I have a solution for you. The ukulele. You see, all you have to do is press down here, and bam, you got an A minor chord. Wow! But now you might be asking yourself, well, I can't really rock out on this, man. but I got something for you. Welcome to the ukulele Strat, where I took my cheap Stratocaster and reorganized the strings and tuned them to a ukulele but an octave below. Isn't that just swell? Listen how I jam out to Havana on this. Oh yeah, we added distortion. Alright, let's see how it goes, man. So they're actually quite charming videos of me sort of just getting into music, and I mean, that year I just was learning guitar, so I was quite preoccupied.
It's like, can you just give it to me for like $5? But we look back there and it's some like old ass dude, and he's like, I was like, oh shit. So I'm like, all right, hey dude, do you know anything about this guitar? Because it didn't have like a logo on it. It wasn't like a Fender or Behringer or some other nasty guitar name brand. And he was like, no, I think I got it from Sears a while back. I was like,
but then getting into 2019, that's when I sort of, got back on YouTube and then got another channel that my parents didn't know about. Ooh. And I made animation videos, and they were bad. Motherfucker be hungry.
Hey man, that's what you need, eh?
I was on some sort of Discord. I got really into drawing and animating, so much so that like I had a gaming PC that I had built, and I traded like with my dad for the gaming PC for like his little laptop, like some sort of laptop you could draw with, because I thought that was so cool. And so I was making these animations and then I traded for the laptop because I thought I was going to be able to draw and whatever in the animation software, but then actually like the laptop was too weak to run the animation programs, and I was already like bad, so I was like whatever. But I would make music for the other people in like the Discord. I was really getting into that. I would make like simple little things on Audacity. I would download some sort of track off of YouTube and then play along to it, and they'd be like, yeah, I need like a little guitar loop for my little animation, and I would do that. I made a lot of friends that time. And then around that same 2019, that time, my friend and I watched, and I will never forget this, or I hope that I don't, we watched Thrasher's Hellbomb video, the one 2019 in October, and I'd sort of, I'd had friends that had skateboarded, and it'd been around me, but it'd never been like, oh, I want to skateboard. I never thought that I would. And I remember watching that with my friend, and I was like, this is crazy. But almost more so, like, it was cool seeing like these people just going at it, like throwing themselves onto these, ramps and stuff, but also like the filmmaking aspect of it. Like, I'd never watched a skate video before that, and it was so cool. Like, you have like this super saturated, warm thing, and this camera guy's got this massive, like, wide lens, and he's just like up in these people's faces, watching their like tricks, and the board is hitting the camera. It was so chaotic, and I guess like that, angsty teenager myself, I was like, that's what I want, that's what I need. So with my first day that we went like skateboarding, I had asked one of my friends that had like an old Walmart board. They gave it to me, they donated it for our skate journey, and I went with my friend Gabe and I, and the first day we went skateboarding, I made a video. And the whole time that I was skateboarding, I remember that was like half the fun of it, was getting like the skate video out of it. Like, that's what I liked the most, and that's when I sort of got back onto the YouTube. I kind of found what I was looking for. So I'd make these skate videos, and we weren't good, and I was just figuring out how to edit and put them together and finding cool music. It really made me sort of fall in love with the filmmaking again. And then COVID hit, obviously, So all I did was just making skateboarding videos. We would just skateboard and I would slowly collect up the clips, and then once I thought I had enough, I would just put them all together, and it would just be like the dumbest stuff, like just me doing like an ollie over a stick or a can, and my friend, you know, doing a pop shove it, and then we're like, this is so cool. But we didn't have any, you know, sort of skate culture around us that much, so you know, it's a really fun time. And though it was like very short, even though it feels like that was a very long time, you know, only skateboarded for like 2 years, I guess, but it's quite fun. And then also I started teaching snowboarding at the local resort, so I made like snowboarding videos, only a couple though, and that was sort of my idea. I got my GoPro, hold on. I was shooting a lot of our videos on this, the T3i, that's like my mom's. I've also made videos about this. So I was making the videos on this, and I remember being frustrated that I didn't have that like fish eye. Like that's the whole thing with skateboarding. You want to have that crazy fish eye, and it didn't have like tracking autofocus, so I would have to like manually do this the whole time, and it was so terrible. So then I had asked my parents to buy me a GoPro for my birthday, I think, and this was it. I was so excited when I got this. It's the GoPro 9, and I gotta, I guess, thank my dad. I remember I just wanted the 7. He, you know, invested in my filmmaking and got me the 9, which was like more than I ever needed. But I finally, you know, I got this camera, and I made probably my favorite video that I've still made, like don't feed the locals.
If people knew the way to words, they would take more value in silence.
It's like that, your engine don't quit.
This was the peak of skateboarding. I had finally met people that actually could skate, like other than me and my friend, like better than we could. They're doing kick flips, grinding rails, and it was so cool. And I got to film that, and I was like, oh, we're gonna start like a skate group and all this. And it was so much fun, and I, you know, finally learned how to edit, and then I broke my leg. No! It's like every, you know, adventure sport or extreme sport, whatever you want to, you know, sort of snowboarding, skateboarding, windsurfing, all this. It feels like as everyone's story, you know, I did this when I was a kid, and then I broke my leg, or I did this to myself and I stopped, and then I grew out of it. And it's so sad. I still have the skateboard up there, but yeah, I stopped playing after that, or stopped skating really after that. And the worst thing is I wanted to still film, and I had this new camera, and nope, just stuck at home with the GoPro and no one to film. And that was such a weird time. I was on the like couch for like 2 months, really. I wasn't able to, you know, get out there and skate. And I got really into Dark Souls, but that's, you know, a story for another time. And then I moved to Finland, and that was a big step for me. Obviously, I graduated high school. I didn't really know what I was going to do. You know, America is quite expensive to go to school, so, you know, I figured I would come to Finland. And sort of those, I guess, like 2 years before I started school now, I would just make all sorts of types of videos. And then actually in the army, all of this skateboarding videos and learning how to use the DSLR sort of paid off, because I ended up then spending my military conscription service. For those who don't know, in Finland you have to do like mandatory military service if you're 18-year-old male, you know, of age. So for context, yeah, I had to do conscription service because I'm a citizen. But yeah, so I came here, did my conscription service, but I had such a a great time there. You know, a lot of people, you know, it's the army, it's not exactly the most fun thing, but I got to essentially play with cameras the whole time, and I was shooting photos, a little bit of video, but you know, all that time, I guess, shooting paid off. My friend was coming to the school here in Tampere, and you know, he was kind of like, yeah, it's good, you should come. So now I'm here. Who would have known? This sort of little journey of me has taken me to school, and now I'm sort of starting all this other stuff. So it's kind of nice to look back and see what has sort of got me here. And 10 years is such a, you know, just a satisfying even number. 10 years it took to get to this, even though I don't know if I would say it exactly like that. It definitely took my sweet time learning everything, but maybe that's a good thing. I was never really hyper focused on it. But the fact that I have always been making videos is such an interesting thing. So you didn't, you know, growing up, I didn't think that I would be making films or doing anything sort of art related at all. Now I'm in like media and arts school, so it's crazy where I guess life can take you. But now, and especially with my videos on these older cameras, you guys seem to like what I'm making. I hope that I can make more. I'd be lying if I didn't say I want to start working on some other stuff other than just old camera videos. And there's definitely some projects in the work of short films, more documentary stuff, like the film I shot on my friend's band. So more stuff like that to come in the future. But for now, the weekly videos and the usual. Regardless, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for listening to me ramble. The 10 years has been fun. Didn't even feel like 10 years. To the last 10 years and hopefully another 10 more. Let's see where we go.